Every single one of these 80s dreamboat actors are given their performances everything they got. I mean, it's a pretty terrifying premise, especially now. All right, let's talk about 1984's Red Dawn. This movie was written by Alan Reynolds and John Milius, who also directs, and stars C. Thomas Howell, Charlie Sheen, Patrick Swayze, Jennifer Grey, Leah Thompson, Harry Dean Stanton, Darren Dalton, just this tremendous cast of people. And this is obviously during the Cold War era in the 80s, and so this was a very specific nerve that they were tapping into. We're like, what if the Russians and the Cubans joined forces and just kind of took over America? It's like, let's play that out as terribly as you could possibly play that out. And like, yeah, that's what this movie is. Now, I of course came to this movie because I am big fans of all of these actors, especially C. Thomas Howell. And when I have a crush on an actor, I go through and I watch every single thing that they're in that I could find at the video store and now online. And this was a big favorite of mine in high school and college. It feels campy and yet distressing at the same time, and that's a very fine line to ride. And John Milius, who is one of cinema's great chaos agents, doesn't make this alternate timeline future look sleek or beautiful. You're really looking at this very cold, dusty, hard place like America slipped back into the Wild West, which makes sense because this movie is basically a cowboy movie wearing military camouflage, right? And you know, it plays into that kind of trope of like, what if the adults fail and the kids have to save the world, which you could do an entire series of. There are so many of those. But this one, I think everybody's really giving great performances. It becomes kind of scary how the kids change and harden. But if you haven't seen it, a watch for sure. I have not seen the remake. I do not need to see the remake. Okay, let's read the copy. Red Dawn opens with one of the most shocking scenes ever filmed. On a peaceful morning, through the windows of a high school classroom, students see paratroopers land on the varsity football field. The invasion of the United States has begun. As their town is occupied by foreign nationals, 8 teenagers escape to the mountains. Taking the ironically appropriate name of their high school team, the Wolverines, they wage an unrelenting guerrilla action in defense of their parents, their friends, and their land. Director John Milius spares no expense in bringing an absolutely gripping sense of reality into the chilling action scenes. The outstanding cast features some of today's most popular actors like Patrick Swayze, Charlie Sheen, C. Thomas Howell, Leah Thompson, and veteran actor Harry Dean Stanton. Avenge me, boys! When it comes to thrilling entertainment, Red Dawn wins the war with a vengeance. All right, let's see what kind of trailers await us on the gloriousness of